Good afternoon, Mama, and welcome back to the Honeycomb channel. As I always say, I hope this channel is for you like honeycomb to the soul. When you finish watching a video, or whether you leave my Instagram channel, which is the same thing, the Honeycomb channel, may you feel encouraged. May you feel rejuvenated like honeycomb to your soul. Each week is going to have a different topic. This week's topic is a biggie. Patience. I've heard so many comments about help me, encourage me with patience. I will do my absolute best. Well, not me. The Lord will work through me, and I will do my absolute best to encourage you today with patience. Every mother needs patience. Whether you got a newborn, whether you got a toddler, whether you got a tween or a teen or an adult, I don't care what you have. Every mother needs patience at some point in the day, in the week, in the month, in the years. You need it. Not only do mothers need it, but especially believing mothers. I know that not every mother on this page is a Christian or a believer. I understand that. You will still be encouraged by this video, I promise. Well, I hope. But especially mothers who claim to be believers, who watch this channel and watch this video, and who are mothers. Patience is so important to show and model to your child. So important. We expect them to have patience, right? We need to have it too. So I'm going to jump in with some verses, just a couple. I had more, but I just feel like just to do a couple because it was just going to be too much. And then I'll give you an encouraging word after the encouraging word of the Bible. So patience is not only something that everyone should have, but especially for believers, because it's a fruit of the Spirit. Now, for other non-believers or people who might be watching this, you think, fruit of the Spirit, what the heck is that? In the book of Galatians, the Apostle Paul talks about the fruit of the Spirit. And at the end of the day, it's what believers need to have. And it kind of, in a way, proves that you truly are seeking the Lord, right? If you say you know the Lord and your bad attitude doesn't change and nothing about you changes, it's not how it works. Let me read this verse to you for encouragement. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, aka patience. I'm reading out of my husband's Bible today, so kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, another form of patience. Against such there is no law. So right there, the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. That is what sets us apart, should set us apart as believers and believing mothers from everyone else. Patience, so important. Another word I'll speak to you is from Proverbs chapter 16, verse 32. He who is slow to anger is better than the mighty. He who rules his spirit than who takes a city. So when you are slow to anger, when you have control over your emotions that way, you're a powerful person. You are a very powerful person. Now that the word has been spoken, just some examples of patience found in the Bible. I have some notes too, just in case I kind of lose myself in my rambling. Okay, let's just talk one-on-one, mom to mom. I get it. It's hard to have patience. And you might be thinking, oh, Megan, you only have a 10-month-old. You really don't understand yet. Okay, yeah. Can we talk about developmental leaps right now? My Iris is in leap 7. And if any of y'all don't know what leaps are, maybe you have a super chill, cool baby, and then all of a sudden, for a period of a couple days to a couple weeks, maybe even a month, they are just screaming and yelling and fussing and all kinds of stuff. That's a developmental leap. So, trust me, I know all about praying daily for patience. I have the best little girl, and she's in leap 7. That's all I gotta say. I know it's hard. Sometimes having patience, it takes everything in you. That's why the Bible says you're stronger than someone who takes a city when you have patience. And mothers, I know that probably y'all are hearing that and you're thinking, hallelujah, amen. Because it is so true to have patience, especially if you have multiples or, you might have a toddler or a newborn, a teenager, all at the same time. I have no clue what your situation is, but I will hopefully encourage you today that patience is such a virtue. We're all going to lose our temper. Let me just make that clear. I'm not making this video to be like, never lose your temper again, mama. And then you're a true believer. Not what I'm saying. The habitual practice of losing your temper, going off on your kid, screaming, yelling, throwing things, terrifying them to death. If that is habitually happening, not only daily, but multiple times a day, that's the issue. Now, you're a good mom. I know you are. You're a terrific mother, and your babies are loved. I know that. I know a lot of you who are on this channel, who are on my Instagram. Y'all are great moms. You really, truly are. And I know that's not the case for you. Maybe you're going through the week. It's hump day, right? Going through the week, good couple days, and then all of a sudden your kids are just being ornery and won't listen. And I said, sit down. Maybe you have a moment like that. I know my mom was so great, and she had moments like that. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have your bad days. I'm not expecting you to be cool, calm, and collected 24/7. It's just not gonna happen. The only person that was like that was Jesus Christ. And let me encourage you with that too, that Jesus, you can tell, you read the Gospels. I forget what book it's in, but there's a point in the Gospels where Jesus just goes, Israel, how long am I going to have to put up with you? You can just hear the frustration in his voice, the patience wearing thin. However, in his emotions, he did not sin. That was the best part about Jesus when he was here on earth. He did not sin, so he could be the sacrifice for us. And he gets it. He's a parent. And of course, like I said earlier, my baby's in a developmental leap. So she has been all over me, pulling on my hair, fussing. And I really, truly lost patience in the newborn stage. This stage is easier for me to deal with than the newborn. Mama, if you have a newborn today and you're just so over it, you're so tired, if that baby cries one more time, I legit had a friend that said, I think I have PTSD from hearing my baby cry. I get it. I'm praying for you today to have such supernatural patience for that baby. Oh, you can do it. You're such a good mom. All right. I pray that I encourage you today to really, truly pray for patience, to really, really pray for it, and to really practice it with your children. I encourage you on that today, because like I said, when it's the habitual, sit down, I said shut up, blah, 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 when it's habitual all the time, that's the issue. And I pray that you just, even today, after you watch this video, to practice patience. Maybe you'll go out to the front room and your baby is colored all over the walls. Deep breath in, prayers. And also, let me give you some practical ways. 2 practical ways that I believe will really, really help when it comes to practicing and developing patience with your kids. The first thing, remember where they are developmentally. Remember, everyone goes through developmental stages. Newborn, baby, toddler, child, tween, teen, adult, whatever. We all have different stages. And when you can think about that, that's really helped me with Iris to understand, okay, she's acting like this because this is what she's experiencing developmentally. As I keep saying, she's on leap 7. So she's fussy, she's clingy, right here on my hip all the time throughout the day. Unless it's nap time or bedtime or when daddy's home, whatever. And it's hard. My back is hurting. This arm is going to be ripped by the time I'm done. I'm just telling you, just because I'm carrying her around all day. And when you understand developmental leaps, it helps with your patience because her whole world is changing. And if you have a baby, maybe 2 years and under, those are when those developmental leaps really take place. They wake up and their whole world is different. What would you do if you woke up and everything you knew was changing, was just weird? It looked funny. Everything, your experience was different than what it was when you went to sleep. You would cling to what you knew. You would cling to what made you feel safe. Mom, Dad, that's where you come in. You are their safe space. And if your baby's being clingy with you today, that's amazing, because that means you're such a good mom. They feel so safe around you. You're their safe zone. And I understand it's hard. I get it. I truly, truly get it. I'm getting emotional. Think about it, because some days you're just like, I'm done. I'm over it. I had a comment just today from a lady that said, I don't want to be a mom anymore. I understand. Sometimes it is so hard. And you were brave to put that comment down, because that's how, if we took a tally or a survey of all the moms out there, and we asked them to raise their hands, if you ever felt that way, I don't want to be a mom anymore, I'm done, I don't want this responsibility, I just want to go take a 1,000-year nap, they'd all raise their hand. Even if their baby's only a couple days old, they'd raise their hand real quick. So I believe your name was Adrian. Props to you, sister. Hopefully this video is already encouraging you. But to remember where they are developmentally. If you have a toddler, when they're not wanting to share, you're getting bad reports at school, remember that all these things, 3.5 to 4 years old, sharing comprehension finally begins. There's so many steps and so many things that are happening in your kid's brain. Maybe you have a teenager and they're locking themselves in their room. They're done with it. They're giving you attitude. I can remember being a teenager, giving your mom attitude. You know everything, they know nothing. Maybe you just want to, as my friend Martha Goodwin would say, I want to clobber them. She never will, but the temptation is there, let me tell you. I get it. And I pray for patience for you, Mom, because you are such a good mom. And God can give you the strength to be patient, a supernatural patience with your baby. I believe He can, and I will pray for that for you today. Something else that really, truly helps me when you need to be patient with your kids, or maybe just anybody in general, remember how patient God is with you. To the believing mama today, remember how patient God is with you. You are God's child. And remember how patient He is with you. You screw up, you throw tantrums, right? You get upset, you give God attitude, you barely talk to Him sometimes, you don't read His word, you don't pray with Him, yet it's the same concept. And I'm not saying this to sound disparaging or to sound like I'm not. I'm just letting you know God gets it. God understands. And remember how patient He is with you all the time, all day long. Always remember that. And I pray that when you walk out there and your kid has made a mess of the room after you just cleaned the floors, remember how patient God is with you. Remember where they are developmentally. They might not be getting it. Maybe they're testing boundaries and they want to see what you're going to do. I pray that you have such a supernatural patience. I pray that you take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And remember that when you model patience, that kid is going to reflect that. When you model that patience, and you can do it, I truly believe you can, because God is in you. God is with you and He's leading you. Now, this doesn't mean you don't discipline your child. This doesn't mean that, whether it be a spanking, whether it be a stern word, I'm not saying don't do that. Absolutely do that. I'm talking about the intense yelling, the rage that I experienced in the newborn stage with my postpartum. I just had rage. Oh my God, now I never hit my baby. It never was anything like that, but I'd put her down for a nap and I'd come in my room and I'd just put my head in my pillow and scream. I get it. I understand losing patience with everything going on around you. And remember how patient God is with you. And all of our relationships reflect our relationship with the Lord, don't they? They should. So I pray that your child feels that patience, feels that love. Now hear me out. It's gonna happen, right? You're gonna have a Mount Vesuvius-like eruption one day. You're just, your kid did this, and then your teen did this, and you're just gonna, I said, shut up. Or maybe you'll yell, maybe you'll scream. It happens. It happens. Every once in a while, you are just gonna blow. And I get it. And when that happens, may I encourage you today, apologize, ask for forgiveness, humble yourself, and ask for forgiveness to your baby, to your child, to your teen, to whatever you got, your adult child, whatever it might be. Ask for forgiveness. That would mean the world. That would show them too. Wow. Because how many times as a kid we thought, oh, when we're older, we'll just be perfect. Everything will be easy. Everything, blah, 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 blah. And then we get there and we're like jaded, right? Like, this sucks. I want to be a kid again. So that shows that kid, mommy struggles too. Oh, well, mommy says she's sorry. And they're able to model that through you. So if you lose your patience, and when you lose your patience, because you will, and it won't be all the time, because you'll let the Spirit work through you and you'll remember how patient God is with you. But when you do lose your patience, always apologize to your baby. Always come back and say, Mommy's sorry. Mommy's had such a hard day and you didn't deserve to be yelled at, and I'm sorry. And then maybe go on to explain. But you can't hit your sister. You can't draw on the walls. You can't run into the street. You can't do this. That baby will get it. And with consistency, that kid will grow up to be a great kid. Let me give you it's an encouraging story. It's not about a mom, it's about my dad. My dad passed when I was 16. However, he was excellent at patience. He was such an excellent model that way. And there was a situation in his life to encourage you on how apologizing to your kid when you lose your patience. This tells you how important it is. My dad had a terrible dad. I'm just going to say it. He wasn't a good dad. Mean man. Well, one day, his father, my grandfather, lost his temper. Someone ate his cherry pie. Piece of a cherry pie. The flavor was cherry. That's all I remember. He comes running in, thinks my dad did it. Comes running in, loses his patience, and starts clobbering my dad. Spanking him, hitting him, swatting him. I mean, he's just going to town on my dad. How could you eat my pie? You ate my pie. And my dad is just crying, screaming as a little kid. This happened all the time. Crying. And in the midst of his gasps, his cries, he cries out, Dad, I don't like cherry. My dad hated the flavor cherry. And his dad kind of snaps out of it, looks around and goes, Walter, you're right. You don't like cherry, do you? And of course my dad's like, no, crying. He did something that my dad never forgot. He was a 40-year-old man and he told this story. His dad bent down, grabbed his shoulders, and said, I'm sorry. My dad couldn't believe it. Like, literally, he was a 40-year-old man and he was telling that story, and he said, I've never heard my dad say I'm sorry before or after, but he remembered that time he apologized. He remembered. Now, like I said, he was not the nicest person, so he went off and whipped the tar out of the kid that actually did eat the cherry pie, which was my uncle, whomever it might have been. But he apologized to my dad, and that meant the world to him. Now, listen to me. You are not a bad mom. You are not an abusive mom like he was. You are a good mom, and you will lose your temper. It's just going to happen. But I encourage you that when you do apologize, look your child in the eye and say, Mommy's so sorry. Mommy's sorry. Can you forgive me? And I guarantee my mom always says this because she would do that to us when she'd lose her temper. And we'd go, okay, Mommy. And then we'd go off and play or, whatever happened. Kids are so resilient and they love you so much. There's nothing like a kid's love for its parents. And so when a mommy says, Mommy's sorry, please forgive me, they will. They will. Especially when you model it so young, as a baby or as a toddler or as a child. When you do that, they'll forgive you, and then they'll do it themselves. They'll ask for forgiveness. They'll see you modeling patience. They won't see Mommy erupt all the time because you're such a good mom and you're letting the Lord work through you. Or if you're not a believer, you're still a great mom. And you can practice this patience. Deep breath in. Remember where they are developmentally. Remember that sometimes they just don't get it, or they don't realize. Well, why'd you get mad about that, Mom? Like, what am I doing? I had a friend, Allison Strange. Where are you at? She has the cutest little girl, and she colored all over a piece of furniture one day. And she posted it on Instagram, and you could hear the the gasp of horror because she loved that piece of furniture. And the little girl just, smiled at her. And she said she was so calm. She was so patient. She didn't yell, scream, spank, anything. She just calmly stated to the little girl, that was Mommy's furniture. Mommy loved it. And it's ruined now. The little girl got it. You can get kids' attentions. You can make a connection with them. You don't have to yell or scream. And I know that some days it is so hard. And you're gonna flub up. You're gonna make that mistake. Hear me out when I say I understand. And you're still a good mom when you do. You're a great mom. Even when you make mistakes, you're a great mom. Just always remember to apologize to that precious little baby. And that is the best example that you can give. Always practice patience. Model it out so the kids see it. But when you make a mistake, apologize. Because the kid sees that too. You're such a great mom. I just love encouraging you because you really are a great mom. And I know some days are hard. And that's why I made this channel. Because moms need encouragement. You feel like you screw up all the time. Today was hard for me. She's so clingy and all over me. You can tell. But you're such a good mom. Days will be hard. And then there'll be those great days that make it all worth it. You know. But you enjoy the rest of your hump day, Mama. Your Wednesday. You're such a good mom. Whether your baby's napping, whether they're at school, maybe they're running around the house doing whatever they do right now. I'm praying for patience for you. I've prayed out loud multiple times today for different people to have patience in their kids' lives. Whether you've reached out to me or not, I pray over you as a mom because you're so awesome. You're such a good mom. Once again, if you have any topics that you need to be encouraged on, leave them in the comments, please. I will look up scripture and I will pray, and whenever the Lord leads, he told me to talk about patience today, so I did. And that'll be how I do. That's how this channel goes. And if I feel like there needs to be multiple videos in a week, they're going to happen. But today was about patience, and I know you can do this. I know you can be patient for the remainder of the day, the remainder of the week, and that babies, teens, whoever, are going to feel the love because you're a great mom. I say it over and over because it's true. Not just because I like the sound of my voice, which I don't, by the way. You're a great mom. And I love you. And the Lord does too, and so does your baby. Your baby loves you. Have a great day.